was going to the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne and Envy was getting hella text messages that, yo, we hear you going to interview that nigga. We going to be waiting for that nigga. This, that, and third. Charlamagne hit me in the morning. And by the way, if he sees this, I'm just always transparent, bro. That's what I mean. It hit me in the morning. He says, I don't think you should come up here. I'm getting mad weird messages. A lot of people with threats saying they know you're going to come up today. They're going to try something. I told him, I said, nigga, brother, I got my security. I got some off-duty cops who probably don't mind catching a body this morning. I'm coming. I'm down to come. And he says, and I thought it was going to be like, nah, bro, just for the safety of everybody. He's just like, all right, babe, you got a team with you? I said, yes. He said, all right, let's do it. We went there, no problems, man. Ain't no fucking problems. You get me? Like, nigga, I'm also not going to be dumb. You know what I mean? When, like, you ever hear these motherfuckers say, yo, Ak ain't outside? Niggas want you to be outside that they could kill you. If you want to see me outside, you will see me with people. Sorry. Yeah. Which also, ironically, I won't even mention that. So yeah, the Breakfast Club thing happened. It was a great experience. My first time. It was my first time going back since like damn near 10 years ago when I interviewed Charlamagne for the first time. And it's the same building, the same place, but I was in the seat. And it felt surreal a little bit because I never thought it would happen. I know a lot of y'all be like, yo, Ak, when you going to be on the Breakfast Club? I don't have a publicist that solicit or source interviews for me. You know, if I'm with, say, obviously I have a podcast with Spotify and I used to be with Complex for Everyday Struggle. They would use their publicists to try to get certain placements to promote the show. But other than that, I don't have really personal publicists going out there trying to do interviews. I actually don't even think I need that. The reason why is I got my own platform. Why I need to go to y'all platform to talk about shit when everybody cares about my Twitch? We probably got about like 6,000. How many people we got right now watching this shit? Oh yeah, we early. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we probably got like 5,000 people watching this shit right now. Like, bro, relatively that's a small audience. But of course you're gonna, like, if I say something, I don't want to say wild or whatever, like everybody's gonna pick it up. So I've realized that, you know, the old way of doing things, running to a bunch of these platforms to get press. No, nigga, like if they paying attention to you for whatever reason, you're already winning. I will say I do thank the Breakfast Club and I did thank Charlamagne for extending the opportunity to me for coming up there. Again, this is something I've always looked up to, and I always wanted to be on that platform in some capacity because I grew up, before I was ever in this position, I grew up watching that platform and I was like, this is legendary. I said even when I was like, radio is dead, which I completely believe is dead, there will never be another Breakfast Club. And I don't believe even if the three left and tried to do something else on radio, it would ever be as big as the Breakfast Club. That's the peak of hip hop radio. It's because of these things, I was very, humbled to even be up there, and I didn't think I would ever be. Yeah, I'm gonna try to gather a sequence of events that I could kind of explain to y'all. Let me get my chat up. And we're going to get back into this PNB Rock show. Okay. Somebody says, YouTube is muted. No way. Yeah, Chiron, I think you make a great point. Like, I went from thinking, there was a time they used to diss niggas like, yo, you're a YouTuber. That was a diss. And I ain't even gonna lie, like once I started getting a little bit acclimated in the industry, I did something that I'm not that proud about now. I felt like I started to diss or shit on, like even say DDG at first. I was like, yo, you a YouTuber right now, nigga. I'm covering the industry, like, you know what I mean? And it was kind of almost like, bro, you ain't there yet. And just in hindsight, you just realize how dumb that was. Like, whether it's, me thinking that I need to get on these platforms to be known or seen, or even me thinking that because a rapper is on the platform of YouTube is the biggest platform. Like, YouTube is way bigger than, like, not to blow my own or toot my own horns here, but like, let's look at the Breakfast Club right now. Like, look at this. If you ask me and how people look, wait, oh shit, there's upload another fucking clip. I didn't even know the Breakfast Club was doing clips. They doing it like Vlad over there now. Salute to them. I don't got a problem with it. Anyway, yo, we at 908 right now. We're gonna get to 1 million. Like, we could probably look through the playlist. And this is why I realized that, yo, how did I get to the place I am now? I've never been on none of these accepted platforms, right? Even Everyday Struggle at when everybody loved it, bro, it's Complex Digital Show. I've never been on one of these accepted platforms where it's like, yo, there's a history of storied people like Power 105, I believe, had Star at one point. I definitely had Ed Lover. You know what I mean? Hot 97 has had so many great personalities come through the door. These are historic, you know, ground and grassrooted, like, you know, platforms. Me, I haven't been there, but and I don't want to be scatterbrained because that's not. Only thing I hate about that interview, I was mad scatterbrained. Look, we could look at the last couple of interviews at the Breakfast Club. We had 908, 908,000 views. We about to hit 1 million. The last interview that I saw before us. Look at these guys right here. Now, there's a way I could see their interviews. Let's go to interviews. Damn, they got a lot of fucking playlists. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's go home. Okay, not trending. Oh, latest Breakfast Club interviews. Here we go. Right? Doechii, you know, I'm not trying to diss somebody neither. I want to go like the artist. You feel me? Look, you see why a nigga like My Song always got my name in his mouth. My Song went up there 8 days ago, 36,000 views. And y'all be wondering, oh, why is My Song always talking about you? My Song is an irrelevant bum. My Song literally has gained 99% of his wealth by carrying a picket sign. My Song should be in the Ukraine right now, trying to like put up like signs about stop the Russian war. Like, real talk. Relevant as they could come. You feel me? Let's just be honest, right? Okay, I won't even mention everybody. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody in reality. My Song's bummed though. I thought the Omarion interview was huge because I watched that shit like 3 times because I was tight. I'm like, them niggas fucked your bitch, bro. Like, what the fuck? All right, I'm gonna still say the word. Yo, that's the thing I wanted to leave that Breakfast Club interview with. I'm not coming here to cop please to say I'll never say the word bitch. I didn't like when Complex made me do it. By the way, this time around, Spotify hasn't said a fucking word. If it ain't happening on their podcast, they don't give 2 fucks, nigga. Salute to Spotify, man. I love Spotify, man. I'm fucking with y'all. The more I fuck with Spotify, the more I be having a little resentment for how Complex treated me. Twitch had told me, remember that Chrissy Teigen shit? Twitch told me, nigga, we only suspended you because Complex is copping pleas in the media. Like, oh, we're going to suspend him for 2 episodes. What the fuck? Twitch was like, nigga, we don't give a fuck. Like, we know you be wilding. Go ahead, nigga. Like, come on, dog. So, like, that's why I fuck with Spotify, man. Like, listen, man, they empowering creators as long as you're not promoting, you know, something that is of imminent danger or like going crazy over the line. They do know that there are going to be times that you're trying to be edgy or whatever the case is that people might not like, bro. Listen, now, granted, they're not going to be like putting out statements like, you remember when Tiger Woods was getting problems? Nike was putting out statements like, we love Tiger. We don't care how many bitches he done fucked. We will stand with him. Now, granted, Tiger made them niggas billions, so of course they got to do that. Spotify is going to be like, this ain't got nothing to do with us. We fuck with Act with the podcast. Whatever else he got going on, where this happen at? On the stream? Go holler at him about that. Fuck with him for that. Man, Spotify, no, not Spotify. I mean, man, Complex was just in a, like, them niggas was acting like it was, I'm like, bro, you know I didn't say this on Complex. They were freaking out, man. So this is one of the reasons I love the space I'm in now. This is why people be mad. Because, you know, when you get these weeks, niggas want to see punitive action. Niggas want to see, oh, he is suspended. You know when they hear that? That's why I hated that Complex buckled. He's suspended for 2 episodes. Everybody's like, we got him. Bro, like, this is back in the day, so I can tell the truth now. Nigga, Meek was calling niggas like, yo, did they fire this nigga? Not me and Meek, we cool now. We cool. Like, this is water under the bridge. But, like, everybody who didn't, Freddie Gibbs was tweeting up a storm like, yeah, nigga. Everybody who don't like you, and this is the funny thing about the cancellation shit. Because the reason why I even address it like that on the Breakfast Club, it could happen to me, it could happen to you. That's why when niggas was getting that Chrissy Teigen, I ain't jumping on that shit. You know why? Because I seen when she did that shit to me. I said, I'm gonna let you live, shorty. You're addicted to social media. We all are in some sense. I'm gonna let you live. But when niggas seen that Complex suspended me for 2 episodes, they were going crazy. That's why now, salute to Spotify. I fuck with them with the podcast, but Spotify do know they're not my daddy. Spotify also knows, hey, we can't control what he does outside of the pod. We can, and by the way, I want to say even on the pod, because I'm definitely aware of our relationship and I treat it very respectfully. 100%. But I like how they move with their creators. As a creator, it comes back to the decision. When I had to make a decision where to go between Spotify and somewhere else before I made that deal, things like this made me realize you made the right choice. Fuck that money. I told you I turned down $1 million. Fuck that money. Because every other motherfucker would have folded. Anytime they see smoke, they just be like, here he is, kill him. We'll stab him too. Nah, I ain't with that shit. Let me just tell y'all the truth with that. Nigga, we still carrying on business as usual. By the way, if you ain't listening to Spotify, I dropped my letter to LL Cool J on there. Bunch of people from Spotify, they're like, yo, that was a good episode. They're not commenting on if I'm right or wrong. They're like, hey, we're just seeing if you're providing content. This and third, you're not like using this platform to be of imminent danger. All right, do your thing. It's a platform you can use to respond. Go ahead. Salute to Spotify for that. And this is why what's been happening recently, everybody's frustrated. And that's where you realize this shit comes back full circle. I'm going to tell you why. Because if they can't, and I've been saying this, you can't cancel what you didn't help build. So if I was on Viacom this week, it would be a tough week. But it was a really reasonable week for me. I made a lot of fucking money. I had a lot of people who are now like open to, because these other demographics because I've always said, I focus on my niche mostly, 80, 75%. Everything else is extra. Everybody wanted to see, we got him. We got his throat. We cut his neck off. It's on a stake outside. But how are they going to see it? There's no complex there. They're waiting for the complex. They're waiting for who does he partner with? And by the way, I say this to empower all y'all creators. Business relationships are always cool, but know who you are before you do them. I remember talking to Charlemagne before I even signed to Spotify. I remember telling him a bunch of options. By the way, I had a meeting with the Black Effect Network at one point to possibly joining them. I always wanted to be at Spotify. There were some good people at Spotify pulling for me. I always wanted to be there. I want to do good by them. I want to bring value to them because I know they would bring value to me. And I remember talking to Charlamagne. I said, how do I navigate this? I said, I'm like you. Some people call both of us like habitual line steppers, or like you push the line a bit. And it's not that we mean to, but that's kind of like what we do. Like we're kind of edgy in certain sense. Like, you know what I mean? We don't go with everybody's opinion. We don't always just stay in the safe zone. But that might make people scared of us. And he gave me some advice, which I won't share here because a lot of those advices are business advices. Because a lot of people try to get my nigga canceled too. You know, like every time he gets a deal, certain things come up, and whatever the case is, he's realized how to maneuver around it. And when I mean maneuver around it, it's just like, if you about to deal with these companies and these corporate entities who know who you are, because let's not get it fucked up. Before any company looks at someone like Ak, they've done their due diligence. What does that mean? They've Googled it. Oh, Oh, he did this series called War in Chiraq. Oh shit, him and Vic Mensa got into it. Oh shit, the Migos shit. Oh shit, they know everything going on. This is what I've realized is that we don't have to get the bag. This is what a lot of these artists, these niggas do. That's why I think that a lot of these niggas who sign, they upset at me because they can't be them no more. A lot of people, this is how it goes. Like, think about these Deezus and Miro dweebs, right? Edgy, even though they were always like white people corny. Edgy still. They were on Complex, blah, blah, got on Vice. Showtime came. You got to sacrifice. Do you want the bag? They give you, they put a bag above you. Do you want it? And you got to sacrifice all of that. Me these days, and I'm lucky that, I'm in the media space I'm into. Unless you're giving me some wild money, I'm probably going to make more money with my own brand than I could make signing to you. That's why Complex is really only one of those deals I ever did where I'm like, Complex is going to help my profile. After that, nigga, I'll turn out. Well, I'm going to just say, I'm saying any, but any could be a lot. So the majority of what I'm going to get offered, you know what I'm thinking? You're going to give me about half of what I'm already making. Or you're going to maybe match what I'm making for a year. What I'm making for a year, I'm good with. Why should I just sacrifice my morals? Why should I dumb it down? Why should I just be a fucking drone? Just to appease your whatever you got going on. So now, with every time I talk to a company, I have multiple discussions with them. Do you understand what you're getting with Akademiks? Do you? Okay, you do know in 5 months someone's going to try to pull up something from the war in Chiraq. Is this going to be a problem? We bring it up instantly, off the rip. So when they see it happen, it's like, not only we protected contractually with it, it's like, nigga, we told you this shit. Like, we ain't coming to shit like we choir boys. You're signing. That's the only thing I didn't like about Complex. When they signed me, they acted like they didn't know that I was getting into it with everybody. When the whole thing, Vic Mensa thing happened, we had a meeting. They were like, they threw it all on me. You got to give us a list of people you're beefing with. Brother, like, why'd you sign me? You knew I was being mad spicy. What you mean? That's the point. I'm trying to tell y'all that. And this is why I'm not one of them independent creators that says don't work with big companies. I don't do that. I don't tell y'all not to. You should do it. Make your brand bigger. Get more bags. But also, the only thing you got to do, and this is for someone who, this is me passing the ball. This is me giving game. All you got to do, you got to tell them to accept you for you. Now, there are going to be some parameters. If you wild out and say something versus certain communities or you do certain shit after, and that's another thing, after you sign. If they came to you, your past is in the past. You got to catch me from when I signed on. That's another thing. So, I know there's a lot of frustrated people who, they were looking for blood. I won't say never, but, I do want to thank the people who I'm in business with. No person, no entity, no conglomerate in the last week or two even brought this up as a conversation piece. And then I think about cancellation. How do you know you're canceled? Because going by the definition on social media, I'm canceled. A lot of people hated me. A lot of people said stuff about me. But what tangibly happened? Okay. Yeah. So that was the week. Am I done talking about the Breakfast Club interview? I give a little more context to it. So, my comments that they took, I didn't call names, but I was really speaking about one person in particular. the person who I was speaking about, they actually even made a response video to me. I don't think they even know I was talking about them. But I'll give you a big hint if you're trying to figure out who I was talking about. The nigga almost basically admitted that what I said when I said Dusty and Broke, he fits the bill. So I wasn't calling all the old heads like Dusty and Broke. And by the way, I was definitely not talking to LL. I was really talking, it was more like a generation before him. But these days, YouTube has allowed everybody to get online and kind of give their opinion, which I love. I love it. I love that older rappers are now chiming in on topics concerning newer rappers in the culture. I love it. They should be able to. However, some of them are just flat out haters. We got to just be honest. You can't be criticizing a motherfucker if you never put your hand around him, or you never helped nobody understand the game. You never helped nobody with mentoring. You never helped nobody in terms of giving your story that people don't make the same mistakes. And I remember Charlamagne asked me a really important question. He said, you're going to be the old guy one day and there's going to be somebody new. Be like, man, fuck this. I said, listen, I won't have a criticizing view of especially people in the media that's coming after me if I don't help them or I don't give them advice on how to avoid shit that I've done. You can't be a hypocrite. And, yeah, that's it. Okay. There's a few more things I wanted to explain or talk about. Let me see. That was pretty much a Breakfast Club interview. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's get to 1 million. Let me comment on Envy. I thought Envy did an amazing job. Envy, salute to you, my brother. You did an amazing job. Very fair. Charlamagne's my guy. And me and him, we have these discussions all the time. Like, me and Charlamagne's relationship from 2013, and this is why I tell y'all, being a dick rider probably won't get y'all far. I respect it and I love Charlamagne's commentary, but the only reason why I got an interview with him, I used to challenge that nigga every single time. I used to be on his ass. And not on some hating shit. I'd be like, yo, you right here, but you wrong here. And he knew I wasn't just a troll. He knew I just wasn't a hater. He knew I was someone who was trying to push, like maybe even push for him to have more understanding or him to get better. And he used to engage with me. And when we used to go back and forth on Twitter a while, he followed me. And I tell all y'all that, where it's like, yo, even when it comes to me, shit, you trying to get in this game, you don't gotta be dick riding me. Like, sometimes I'm off base, and then sometimes I'm right. Now, granted, if you're either extreme, you're gonna be seen as a dick rider or a hater. If you agree with everything what I say, you're going to be seen as a dick rider. If you hate everything I do, you're probably a hater. The best way, and I'm giving y'all advice, whether it's me or say, like, I don't know, anybody that will even see, because these days, like, I think most people, even like me, bro, I used to be on Twitter a lot. Twitter is so toxic, I don't even go on it no more. Like, I read other things. But back then, Twitter was where the town square was for commentary and for opinions. And, that's where, I happened to get my chance to, debate with him. Anyway, Envy was really on point. I think Envy asked some great questions. I think Envy gave some honest and insightful answers. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't see that coming from Envy. Like, I'm going to be honest. So even when the 6ix9ine thing came up and we were talking about it, and it was just like, yo, what do you think about 6ix9ine, doing whatever with PNB Rock? Me and 6ix9ine had this conversation mad times. Where 6ix9ine would be like, yo, Ak. I'm gonna tell you verbatim what he was saying. Yo, Ak. Yo, none of these, like, yo, Ak, I've supported your platform all the time. I overextend myself as an artist to make sure I also support you. You're one of the only niggas I follow. I give you all the support I could give you. But at the end of the day, a lot of times you give them the benefit of the doubt. Because when they say they can't wait for me to die, which a lot of them do, you're going to repost it. Or you're not going to say nothing about it because it's ha-ha. Nobody likes 6ix9ine. But if something happens to them, and because he told me, he's like, yo, remember when a nigga swung on me in the club? How many people was in the comment section talking shit? You didn't come out and say, well, why y'all doing that if y'all want him to stop? You just let it rock. So why when this person get killed or whatever, especially when they have a history of saying they can't wait till I die, You now are trying to, soften the blow of my response. And that is a compelling argument. And I ain't gonna lie, Envy understood that. And to be honest, I understand that too. Is just that what I've always just told him, I'm like, yo, I do think he's fair with most of the things he does. The only reason sometimes I can't rock with it or like publicly support it, dog, people are lumping me and you like we're thinking the same. I've always loved King Von. You hate King Von, not me. You get what I mean? So like, while I understand when you're like, yo, well, King Von did these 30 things, King Von would have been saying he's smoking on a 6ix9ine pack in a song. Why can't I just make a couple comments on Instagram? That's a legit point. However, I like King Von. I'm going to be honest. So it's a little bit difficult, but I appreciated Envy for understanding that, because I do believe that people like 6ix9ine, like, I don't think they look at it where the inconsistencies of the industry just never favors them. And I remember that's where I came up with a quote. I said to 6ix9ine, I said, 6ix9ine, listen, because he kept saying, yo, bro, if another artist did this, they would be like, these niggas tough. When I do this, they always be like, like, for example, they be like, yo, you can't go to O Block. Well, you ain't go at like 3 a.m. Or no, you ain't go at 3 p.m. He said, I bet next time I'm going 3 p.m. They gonna be like, well, you ain't stay there like 40 minutes instead of like 15 minutes. So he that's his thing. And I would just be like, yo, bro, you're going to die trying to prove people. I'm trying to change people's minds. There's some people, and this is why I even went into that interview. This was not an apology interview. I went to explain, and if I did offend anyone, which wasn't meant to be offense, like, for example, no disrespect, but I don't really care about Reginae, Carter, and Toya enough to even disrespect them. I was just like, I'm making a riff. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the conversation with T.I. So when I find out that they are disrespected or that they feel offended. And by the way, I'll even say this before I get into the T.I. conversation. I thought Toya was just jumping in. But apparently, somehow they see now. I guess everybody sees my stream now. They were mad offended. But like, of course, I'm like, yo, Toya, Reginae, my bad, yo. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect you as a person.